What's up, everybody? It's your girl Chinchilla here for another episode. And as of today, new season of, let's turn the light on. I can barely even see myself. And season 2 of Cooking with Chinchilla. I'm super excited. I did take a week off of, the finale of season 1. We made 11 meals together. Can you believe that? 11 weeks of different live shows of our meals. And one special thing about this episode is happy birthday to my mom, Rosalinda. She is a young 5'5". She wants to say 5'5", not the other one. So let's just say 5'5". Happy birthday, Mom Rosalinda. She's tagged on this. And what we're going to be making today is going to be her favorite meal. Well, not actually her favorite meal, but anytime I visit, it's always, hey, are you awake? Well, I am now, Mom. Are you hungry? Yeah, well, if you want to cook that breakfast, and today we're going to cook that breakfast for her birthday. So happy birthday, Mom. I love you. And another thing, another great special announcement that I have to start off season 2, let's turn this down a little bit, is I'm going to be selling actually some pre-made seasoned packages for meals. So every meal that you've seen, whether it be the Tex Mex rice, the charo beans, the enchiladas that we've made, all the tacos, everything else, we're gonna be doing some seasoned packets. It's gonna be $15 to $20. It's also gonna include Rosalinda's sweets, Rosalinda's treats, I believe we said it was gonna be. So it's gonna come with about 3 to 4 meals of pre-seasoned seasoning packets, and also that I create myself, Chef Chinchilla. And also it's gonna come with a dozen candies. They're gonna be the, if you go to a Mexican restaurant and you get the little pecan candies, I'm gonna add a dozen of those. So guys, DM me if you want and are interested. I'm only gonna be making 10 this week. So about 15 to 20 bucks. DM me your address and we can customize your own meals. We got Thai food that we made last week, or last season. We had the Tex Mex meals, enchiladas, the tacos, the charo beans, the rice. Anything that you guys want, I can customize it for you. I'll ship it out to wherever you are, and you don't even have to measure anything out. So guys, so we're gonna start with the ingredients here for my mom Rosalinda's favorite breakfast. It's going to be a sweet yellow onion, 2 jalapenos, some Roma tomatoes. I got about 5, but we're probably not gonna use them all. We have cilantro. She doesn't like pork. My mom doesn't really eat this heavy. Mostly she eats healthy. In the morning, she'll have her black coffee with no sugar. She'll have a banana, maybe some yogurt, some nuts. And she runs at least 3 to 4 times a week. So guys, if you see a picture of my mom on my Facebook and you want the secret to young looking aging, did I say that right? I don't know. Anyways, she doesn't eat pork, so I did get beef chorizo, which is the caquic. I believe that's how you say it. And also, obviously, the eggs, the cotija cheese. I don't think we've ever eaten cotija cheese, but I kind of, in California, I kind of came across this when I made the tacos al pastor. I don't know if you guys remember that. We're going to be making some Southern-style potatoes. And thank you, everyone that's watching. Alex, Castaneda, Catherine, my mom, obviously, Paula Ann. Thank you guys for tuning in. I did pre-make the refried beans. I don't know if you remember, guys, a few weeks back where I tried to make the beans live. That didn't turn out very well because they weren't ready. So we're going to get started. I did about 3 cups of pinto beans. That's going to be too much, especially with just me and my 2 roommates. We're not going to eat 3 cups of beans. And those are dried 3 cups. So I'm gonna get some Ziploc bags, which is what my mom taught me, and I'm gonna freeze some of it so I can use for a later date so they don't go bad in the fridge. All right, let's get the Ziploc bags. So guys, where are you guys watching from? I know I got a bunch of new friend requests this week and in the past few weeks. Thank you guys for that. Let's put all this aside so we can get started. I think one thing we're going to start with is the chorizo with beans. So I'm going to do chorizo and beans. They're going to be refried beans because that's going to take the longest, or actually the papas. Let's start with the papas. All right. But first, let's get the beans, and we're going to put some of these to freeze so we don't waste it and they don't go bad in the fridge. There we go. And you don't want to throw most of the juice away only because you might need some of it when you're refrying it, so it's not too dry. But if you do, it's okay. You can just add some water and some salt and some garlic salt. Hi, Vettel. Hey, my little ones are watching. So we've got Ashley from Colorado, Paula Ann. Thank you for saying happy birthday to my mom, Vettel. And also a big, big, huge happy birthday to my nephew. It's going to be in about 2 to 3 days. It's July 15th. So everyone please wish my nephew Anthony a happy birthday. And also say hello to my niece, because you can't forget about my niece either. So, all right, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to freeze this. I'm not going to mark it now, but you kind of want to mark the date on it, just because you don't want it in there for 2 years and then you try to eat it and then your guests are like, ugh. So yeah, so we're going to do about 2 bags of these. We're going to freeze these just so we don't waste. Beans are really cheap, but times are really tough. So you've got to be aware that we might go through another shutdown, we might go through another quarantine, and people might start hoarding food again. So if you have it, keep it. All right, I think that's enough. So I did about half of the 3 cups dry that I cooked of the refried beans. And you want to take the air out of it, because the air is a no-no. I don't know why. Maybe my mom Rosalinda will tell us, but yeah. So we're going to freeze these 2 bags. If I can find a spot. And we're going to get rid of some of the juice, which we don't really need. And that's going to be for the chorizo beans that we're going to be making. There we go. So I didn't leave too much juice or too little. So it's about 1.5 cups dry of refried beans for this meal. All right, let's put this aside. And then with the papas, this is kind of a southern style potato that we're going to be using. We're not going to use too many because it's only for about 3 people. But if you have a bigger family or you want leftovers, that's fine. Also, guys, don't forget this meal. You can actually get those baked tortillas from the supermarket and roll it into a burrito. So you can put the beans, the potato, and the eggs that we're going to make into that, and you just saved yourself like 10 bucks at a taco truck. So, all right, so let's rinse these off. I personally like to leave the skin on only because it gives it more flavor, and from what I'm told, that's where all the vitamins and nutrients are. So let's clean these off. And yes, I did wash my hands beforehand. All right. I'm going to use about 5, which is not too bad. I'm going to have a little bit left over, but that's okay. I just always put it in the fridge and have some tacos in the morning. But tonight we're having my mom's favorite breakfast. It's a Tex Mex breakfast that she always hints that she's not hungry, but she'll come to my room and say, "Are you awake? Are you hungry?" So that's my cue to get up and start making her favorite breakfast when I do visit my mom. So let's move this light around a little bit. Oh, not the phone. And turn the water off. Can you guys still see me? Oh, I moved it a little bit. All right. So I need a camera person. Who wants to come volunteer, guys? Anyone in the LA area, you're more than welcome. All right, so let's get back. We're just gonna cut these papas, and it's gonna be a simple cut. You can cut them however you want. If you want French fries, you want it, you know, a certain way, that's up to you. Let's use this one. It's my favorite color, so we'll use this one. So I'm just gonna cut it in half, like this. I'm gonna do about 3 cuts there, and just kind of cube them up. Watch your fingers. Like I say, I've cut myself so many times. I'm 36 years old, and I still cut myself to this day. So maybe this isn't something that you want the kids doing, but there's some other things that they can do to help you, like maybe scramble the eggs, get you the seasonings and whatnot. And with this breakfast, it's really simple seasonings that you're gonna use, and it's very inexpensive. So don't forget, guys, I am selling a dozen kit spices and seasonings, and that's going to come along with a dozen of candies that my mom likes to make, that her mom taught her, and she's from Sugar Land, Texas. Imagine that. And so, guys, don't forget, that's only about 15 to 20 bucks. DM me, and we'll get it all customized for you, and I'll send them out to you with the candies. And and how-to and recipes. So don't forget to DM me after the show, and please share this video if you want your friends and family to kind of see these recipes. You're more than welcome to share this video as well. So we're just dicing these up. I'm gonna get the pan ready after this one, because you don't want to add the papas or potatoes into a cold oiled skillet. So we're gonna turn this on. I'm using a cholesterol-free corn oil, and the only reason why, because that's all they had left. So I usually use sunflower oil, but you can use whatever oil you want. Just don't use virgin or extra virgin olive oil, only because that's more of a taste for like Italian food or kind of Mediterranean. So, but for Tex Mex, you're gonna want to use this. So add just a little bit, just enough to fry them up. And then we're gonna do the same thing that we do with the rice. Caught me. Same thing that we do with the rice. We're gonna fry it a little bit, brown it up, and then cover it and put it on low for simmer. All right, let's chop these up. And it's really the same simple Tex-Mex kind of seasonings. We're just gonna use garlic salt or garlic powder. I use a pink Himalayan salt, a little bit of pepper, and just a touch of comino. So chop these up. Don't forget the fingers, guys. You gotta do this. It's uncomfortable, but it's more uncomfortable if you cut your fingers. So I catch myself doing it too. And you see that black part of the potato? You don't wanna take that out. You don't wanna serve that to your guests. So just a little part that we can cut out. Check the other part. There we go. All right. We're almost done. I think 3 potatoes should be good. Again, if you want to do 5 or 17,000 of them, that's up to you. You can have leftovers and maybe even do some tacos de papa, like Diane Coleto actually mentioned yesterday. And thank you guys for all the recommendations that y'all gave me for the meals that I should be making. I'm actually really excited for this season 2 of Cooking with Chinchilla, because I'm going to be making a lot of stuff that I've never made before. So we're actually going to be learning together and seeing how it comes out. So let's stay tuned. We're going to be doing another 11 episodes. And yeah. All right. I think that should be good. All right, we did about 3.5 potatoes. Like I said, it's only for 3 of us, so it's not gonna be too much. And this should be hot enough. Once you add the papas and potatoes into the skillet with the oil, if you hear the kss, then it's good. All right. We got it. All right. Let's add that in there. And we have Jason. Hello, Jason. How are you? From Vegas. We have Gabriella. Let the oil cook, then add the salt to. Oh, mom. Okay. Oh, so if y'all don't know who Rosalinda is, she's the one that comments about 27,000 times per minute. So that's her. And happy birthday, Mom. I love you. All right. So I always have a clean dry rag because I wash my hands so many times. And since that was just potatoes and nothing kind of meaty, we don't really have to wash this, so we're good on that. Unless the chorizo hits it, but I'm not gonna let the chorizo hit it because it's a big cutting board and I don't wanna wash it. But always stay safe in the kitchen, guys. Don't cross-contaminate, especially with raw meats and fresh veggies that you're gonna be using, because your veggies may not cook all the way and cook maybe the salmonella that the meat may have. I know that sounds exaggerated, but it's not fun when you have food poisoning. I've had it once or twice this year already. That's my own fault for eating out. But that's besides the point. So we're gonna let this fry a little bit. There we go. Oh, they're browning up really nice. You just want to get that brown onto the potato. It's going to give it that little toasty flavor. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic salt, just kind of a sprinkle over it. And then we're going to be doing a Himalayan salt. Y'all guys know I love to use a pink Himalayan salt. We're just going to sprinkle that too. Don't add too much salt because, again, guys, You can over salt it, but you can't unsalt it. So just add just enough and kind of taste test it as you go, or your guests can kind of season it with the salt and pepper that you may have at your table. So we're gonna mix that in, add a little bit of pepper as well. If I can find my pepper. I cannot find my pepper. Ah, comino. Just a pinch of comino. Just to give it that little Tex Mex little, I was supposed to do that, right? The little, all right. All right, my pepper is hiding from me. It is not time to play hide and seek right now. It is not. Oh, you know what? I'll just use this one. I found one. And ground pepper's a little better. Gives it more of that little good spice that you want. So now that it's frying up, oh, that's perfect. So you can see it's kind of browning up. That's what you want. So you want to get that little brown around the edges in the papa. Perfect. We're going to cover it up. It was on high to get that toasty flavor, but now I put it completely on low, and we're going to let it sit. And just like the rice, you don't want to open it, because then you're just going to lower the temperature of the potato. Then it's going to start sticking to the pan on the bottom, and you're just going to have mashed potatoes. Hey Robin, how are you? Robin is actually a really great chef out in Thackerville, Oklahoma, at the world's largest casino. So Robin Gora, thank you for tuning in. I used to be her assistant manager, so thank you for tuning in all the way from Thackerville, Oklahoma. Daniel, thank you for tuning in. And everyone else, if I missed you, I'm sorry. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna start with the beans, because we want the beans to refry. And the egg dish is actually the main dish, but that one's gonna be really quick. So I'm gonna do something a little different, which everyone does it differently. But since I do have a smaller blender, I'm only gonna do about half in the blender so it gets really creamy. And then the other half, I'm gonna do it smashing it by hand. So you still get the chunkiness of the beans and kind of that like bite, and it's not so creamy. And so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's get some of these in here. And again, you want to add some of the juice, then it won't blend. That's where you're going to get the creaminess. So I did leave some of the juice in there. And all I did was kind of boil the water and add some fresh garlic, a little bit of salt, and you just kind of taste the water if you like that, just to kind of see how much salt or how much not to put in, I guess. So we're going to blend this, and we're going to turn this on. So the beans start heating up, that way they're gonna be easier to mash. If they're cold, they're gonna be a little harder to mash, but let's mash this up in the blender. And it's not blending, so I'm gonna add a little more juice. All right, that's my fault, but that's cooking. You just kind of go with it, just wing it. All right, I'm gonna let that warm up. If I can get it to close, it's being stubborn. Ah, there we go. All righty. So we're just gonna blend that up. There we go. Now that I added a little more water, it's gonna blend a little easier. That should be enough. And now we're gonna pour it into the whole beans and then kind of smash it in together. And again, the reason why I didn't smash all of the beans is because I still want that chunkiness from the hand smasher, because it's not gonna completely creamy it like this. Is that even a word? Creamy it? Cream it? I don't know. We'll just say yes. Just say yes. Say yes. All right. So we're gonna try to take as much as we can out. There we go. Mix that in a little bit. Oh, that's very creamy. Oops. I think I left too much water in there. Let's see what happens when we mash it up a little bit. There we go. All right, so one trick that my mom taught me that my Tío Carlos taught her was with the refried beans is you get the oil on the side and then you heat up the oil and then pour it on top. I'm not sure what the difference is on adding the oil first and then the beans, but that's just kind of the way she was taught and that's the way she taught me. And since this is her breakfast, her favorite breakfast, this is what we're gonna do. So, here we go. And as you can see, it's kind of creamy, but it also has the chunks in it. So that's kind of where I was talking about the consistency of still having it a little creamy, but also with that little bite. All right, let's put this in here. And let's get the little pan. I'm gonna heat up the oil in here and then add it on top to the refried beans. So if you didn't know how to make refried beans, now you know. It's really simple, really cheap, really good. I have a bolillo here. Guys, even just with the bolillo and some refried beans and some cotija cheese or shredded cheese that you got at home, comes out so good. It's a really good breakfast, simple, fast. You can even freeze them and cut them into pieces so you have something to microwave in the morning before you go to work. Or for your husband, wife, partner, whoever you're with, it's a really, really cheap breakfast. So, or snack. I like, quarantine, we're all snacking on kind of everything. So, all right, let's warm this up. Let's stir the beans a little bit so they don't burn to the bottom because they don't have the oil yet. So once I add the oil on top, the hot oil, it's gonna kind of fry the top. Let's see what my mom says. No, Tío Carlos taught me to saute onions in oil, then add the blended beans to it. Oh, okay, so I forgot the onions, sorry. Okay, so we're just gonna, kind of from what I remember, I'm sorry, Mom. But you always like when I cook for you, so this is a good meal. It comes out kind of okay, I hope so. All right. All right, guys, and don't forget, if you DM me, I'm gonna be making special seasonings. There's gonna be a dozen, about 3 to 4 meals with a dozen candies that my mom makes. They're called Rosalinda's Treats. It's gonna be about 15 to 20 bucks with a little bit of shipping. So don't forget to DM me. I'm only gonna be making about 10 this week. So if you want some of my recipes, my seasonings, and you don't wanna go buy everything and go back to my videos, I can personalize it for you. I will have the instructions and recipes in the box. So don't forget to DM me for that. Like I said, I'm only making about 10 this week, and then we'll kind of see where we increase from there. So don't forget to DM me for that, and we'll get something customized for you. So you can just come home, put in the rice, put in the seasoning, cover it, done. All right, so now that that's hot enough, and this is boiling, we're gonna add the oil on top. Ooh, that looks good. Let's mix that in. Oh, that's already frying the top. Simple refried bean recipe, but with this one, we're gonna be adding some chorizo. Which I should have saved that pan. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it right back. All right. Let's put this kind of on a medium heat in the back. And for me, when I cook chorizo, I like to add a little water, kind of like the ground beef. And it kind of helps it mash and kind of cook a little more evenly instead of chunky, which is my preference, but however you like it. But this is kind of the way Chinchilla does it. So let's add some water. And I'm gonna get a different plate, or actually a little cutting board. So I don't have to clean this whole cutting board. It's kind of big, but very convenient. Thank you to my roommate Jill, who lets me use it. We're gonna get rid of that knife. We're gonna pour in the chorizo. There we go. And I'm using about 9 ounces. I'm gonna use the whole thing for about 1.5 cups of dry refried beans. Obviously it's gonna be more when it cooks. But, so don't remember, 9 ounces, just one beef chorizo. They have soy chorizo, also pork chorizo, I don't know what region you live in, but maybe they have different ones. But for this one, my mom doesn't really eat pork. She eats fairly healthy most of the time. So this is just kind of a cheat meal for her. So let's kind of use this one because it's already colored up. Stirring up the beans, and I can smell the potatoes are almost ready. And this meal's almost done too, so. This is kind of a good like Saturday morning breakfast after you clean the house or your kids clean the house, or you know, if you're craving breakfast for dinner. Again, this is my mom's favorite breakfast that I make for her. So I decided to make it. This is again season 2, episode 1. So thank you guys for tuning in and putting up with me for what, this is our 12th week. There goes my spoon. Let's rinse that off because we don't want to. And clean it off just to be safe. So thank you guys for tuning in and staying in tune. Thank you to everyone that's sending pictures of the recipes that I'm making. Don't forget, I am selling packages this week. I'm selling about 10 packages. It's going to be about 3 to 4 meals with a pack of candy in it as well. So don't forget to DM me your address, and then we'll customize some meals for you. All right, let's put this on high because that's not cooking very well. Hold, please. How to get some water. All right. So now this is boiling. We're going to smash it up. So now that we have it to kind of a semi-boil, the chorizo with the water kind of mixed in, we're gonna let that sit here kind of on a medium-low heat while we start cutting up the veggies for the migas. And I forgot the corn tortillas. So let's find them here. Oh, got them. All right. I did have someone ask from New Mexico, and thank you again for making that Alfredo, but this is pre-seasoned pork for al pastor tacos. You did ask about machaca. It's pretty much what I'm making right now, but add this and you can make a machaca burrito or just eat it like that. So, I mean, minus the migas, but this actually gives it a little crunch and it's really good. My mom really loves it. So if you are wanting to make machaca instead of just migas Tex Mex style that I'm making, just add a little bit of al pastor or whatever kind of seasoned meat that you can get at your carniceria. All right. So what we want to do first, guys, is open this up, obviously. We're going to check on the papas because they've been on for a while. Perfect. And as you can tell, I didn't open the lid because you don't want to stop. My hair's getting in my way. Let me wash my hands again. I didn't open the top, and you don't want to open the top just like the rice because you don't want to lower the temperature and stop the cooking of the potatoes. So that's what I did there. So here, we're going to move this to the back. Kind of put it on a medium-low again. Let that water kind of fade away from the chorizo, and then we're going to add it into the refried beans that we have cooking back here. And I'm excited to be back, guys. I kind of really missed y'all. I don't really get to see y'all or talk to y'all, but I'm so glad that, you know, with the comments and the likes and the shares, guys, don't forget to share this video. You can do a watch party or share this video to your friends and family to share these recipes as well. Now the fun part. No, this is never the fun part because I always cut myself. That's my fault though. So guys, don't take my example. Just be really safe. Just be as safe as you can, okay? So for this, I'm gonna do about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 tortillas, corn tortillas. I'm gonna cut them in half And then I'm gonna cut them in half. So like half. I don't know how do you say it, half. All right, let's cut that half and cut them into squares. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the oil into the pan, and we're pretty much gonna fry these, guys. We're gonna fry these and kind of make them a little kind of crispy. But when we add that veggies and the eggs, they're gonna get a little soggy, but they're still gonna have that really good crunch. And this, my friends, is called Migas, but it's Tex Mex style Migas. So let's add the oil, and again, you don't want to add anything into the oil unless it's really hot, or else it's going to get soggy and stick to the pan. So we're going to add quite a bit in there. Let's roll my sleeves up and wash my hands again. All right, so now that the oil's heating up, I'm going to start cutting the onions first, because I personally am not a fan of onions unless they're cooked. But you gotta add the onions to this because of the flavor. And again, guys, if you haven't been watching, a good way to stop yourself from crying while cutting onions is a really easy fix, is just to rinse them off with cold water for a little bit. So I'm gonna rinse them off. I'm gonna use about half a yellow onion. Yellow onions are usually kind of the same size anywhere you go. You can kind of, you know, my hand's pretty big, so I don't know how that, yeah, something like that. All right, my mom likes onions, so we're gonna add this into her meal. I would add it into mine too, as long as it's cooked. So let's rinse this one off. And there's really no way to do it, just kind of your preference, as big or small as you like. Just watch your fingers while you're cutting. There we go. That's kind of how I do it. I don't know, kind of bunch it up for you guys to see. There we go. All right. So let's dice these other ones. I think the oil's hot enough. And you can tell if you kind of move the pan when the oil's in there, you can see it's kind of watery. If it's too thick and syrupy, it's not hot enough. So let's chop these up. And I'm gonna add the onion not too long after the corn tortillas, just so they cook thoroughly, because I don't like raw onions, so. All right, who else? We have Daniel, hello. Claire Lane, how are you? Catherine, how are you? Hey, Dom, how are you? How's Philadelphia? How's everyone else doing? There's a lot of people on here watching that I haven't seen in years, so I'm glad we can reunite via internet. So now that the oil is hot enough, we're gonna add the tortilla strips and kind of mix them around. And you can hear them sizzling. Ooh, it smells so good. That smell-o-vision. I'm gonna use a flat spoon. Thank you again, Heather from Vegas, for giving me this. Only because when I start cooking the eggs, it's gonna be easier to scrape on the bottom. So we're gonna let that sit for a little bit, kind of fry. Mix in the oil into all the pieces. Again, I did about 7 of those. Now let's put the onions aside, because we're gonna start chopping up some other veggies. We're gonna do let's do about 2 Roma tomatoes. I bought 5, but that was a little too many. But with the leftover refried beans and chorizo, I can make tostadas. So guys, these are really cheap meals that you can make with your family. They're quick and easy, cost efficient, especially during times like this. So let's check on the beans, mix them up a little bit. They're frying back here. Let's actually switch these. Hello. Work smarter, not harder. Remember that. There we go. Is that, oh, the fan. Let's move the fan real quick. All right. Let's mix this in a little. Kind of evenly spread them out on the pan so they fry evenly. Let's mix the beans in. Those are frying really nice. Now that the chorizo It still has a little oil and water on top, but that's gonna evaporate when we add it into the refried beans. So let's add that now. Let's turn the back one off. There we go. Oh, that looks so good. I have not had this breakfast probably in over 6 months, Mom. So thank you for having your birthday so I could make this meal. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's looking delicious. These are our refried beans with the chorizo in it. And again, guys, this is how you make breakfast burritos. You could just make the beans and chorizo, or the papas, the potatoes, or the migas, or all together make this huge burrito that you can just regret all day. All right, so these are frying pretty nice. So now we're gonna add the onion, because I don't like raw onions. So we're gonna let them fry with that. And move that aside, wash my hands. Guys, wash your hands as many times as possible when you're cooking, especially for other people, even for yourself. You don't want to get sick, especially with the pandemic that we're going on with right now. You got to stay safe and keep everyone around you safe. That's what cooking is, showing love. And to show love, you got to be safe and healthy, right? We're gonna add a little more oil because I think the tortillas kind of ate them up. And we do want to get the onions fried just a little bit. And just add it as you go. You don't want to water it down with oil, but you do want to get it just enough to fry. And then when you add everything else to fry as well. And not burn. So my mom says, Iris, say hi to Victor. You should have put some chorizo to the potatoes. Okay, sorry, Mom. Okay, sorry. As y'all can tell, Rosa Linda, this is her favorite meal, but she's also made herself the director of my show, so that's on. Okay, thank you, Mom. Love you. Ooh, that smells so good. All right. Let the onions kind of cook down. We have this on high. Let's do it on a medium-low. Let's turn this down on low. Oh, that's frying really good. Cover the beans. And I shouldn't have used it. Oh, yeah, I can use that one. There we go. What we're going to add next are the tomatoes, the cilantro, the jalapeno, and the eggs, and we're done, guys. So now that we rinsed these two off, we're gonna dice them up. Again, dice them up however big or small you want. Your kitchen, your meal, you're just getting ideas from me. I need a better knife. There we go. Dice that up. And I'm gonna add it in as I go to speed this up, just so they start cooking faster. There we go. Oh, that looks good. And usually if I'm not making a sauce and I'm gonna make something like a Tex Mex meal with the tomatoes that I have to cut up, I usually get Roma tomatoes that are a little more dense and hard, so they're easier to cut. They're gonna cook anyways. With the sauce, I usually just add them whole, and I don't really have to dice them up. So I get them a little more mushier, so they can just boil in the water. So we're gonna dice these up. There we go. And you do want to add the jalapeno last, and you'll see why. Because if you add the jalapeno with the onion, it's going to start steaming up and start burning your eyes. And you don't want to be crying in front of your guests. So just blame it on the onion. I don't know. I got 2 jalapenos, depending on how hot you want it. These are fairly about 1.5 inch to 2 inches each. I'm going to use the bigger one, and I'm only going to use one. You can always add salsa afterwards, but if you like it hot and your family likes it hot, you can add both jalapenos or 17. It's up to you. Like I said, it's your meal. So let's clean this off. We're gonna cut this into 4. And again, guys, if you don't want your meal too spicy, you can take out the seeds. Because I'm only using 1, I'm gonna use all of it and keep them in there. So, and again, as big or as small as you want. Watch your fingers while you're dicing this. And don't rub your eyes after cutting jalapenos until you're done washing your hands. I've done it before by accident. It was just instinct where you just got that random itch in your eye, and that wasn't fun. All right, so let's move this aside. Cut up some cilantro. This is a smaller bunch, so I'm gonna use the whole thing. If it's a bigger bunch, just use however much you want, guys, again. So let's cut this up, chop it up. Let's take these out because we're gonna whisk the eggs in there. Chop that up. We're gonna mix the tomatoes in. These are looking really good. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is my mom's favorite Tex Mex breakfast. We have the onions, the fried corn tortilla strips, and the tomato. Just cooking up really nicely. We're gonna add the cilantro that I just chopped up. There we go. Perfect. Add that in to give it the color and the flavor. We're gonna add the jalapeno, kind of sprinkle it in. Wash my hands because I don't want to rub my eyes with jalapeno juice on my hands. That's never fun. All right, guys, and hold please, let me get a little bit of water. It's a little hot in the kitchen, but my mom wanted me to wear pink, so I wore pink for her birthday. So happy birthday, Mom, and don't forget to wish my mom a happy birthday in the comments, and please share this video if you want to share the yumminess of this Tex-Mex meal. Now that we have all that added, we can move this aside, and we're just gonna stir up the eggs, cook it up, serve it up. I'm gonna eat it. Hopefully you guys can make it at home. And don't forget to DM me, guys, if you want that personalized meal spice kit that I'm gonna be making, or I'm gonna be adding in a dozen candies that my mom makes. Homemade. I will be making them homemade for you guys. So DM me. I'm only making about 10 this week. So if you guys want those sauce packets for your meals, I got you. There we go. We're gonna do about, with me and my mom, we'll do about 4 to 6 eggs, depends on kind of our day, if it's a work day or if it's just a lazy day when we make this meal. I'm gonna do about 6. You can even do the whole dozen with this, because like I said, you can use this and make tacos or burritos for kind of breakfast for the week or for the next day for your family, whatever else. All right, so I did about 7 eggs. We're gonna whisk it up real quick. Now we are almost done, guys. Where'd my napkin go? Got my little whisker tool. My mom does it, oopsie. I got a shell in there. You usually don't want those in there, but I accidentally left one. You don't want crunchy eggs, guys, so let's take that one out. Mix this up. My mom doesn't like a lot of salt and pepper in her food. She watches her cholesterol. She's pretty healthy about all the time. So I'm gonna add a little bit salt and pepper in this one. Let's add it into the eggs because that's going to mix into everything. A little bit of ground pepper. Gonna mix that in, and we are ready to cook the eggs and serve it up. And we're almost done, guys. I missed you guys. It's been like a week, no, 2 weeks. Thank you guys for tuning in. Alrighty, so that's all cooking up. Actually, let's add a little bit more oil because it doesn't look like it has enough. So let's just kind of add a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little bit here. There we go. Kind of give it a little swirl. There we go. Oh, that looks so good. We only had smell-o-vision, guys. There we go. We got almost done with our Tex Mex Migas breakfast with the chorizo con beans and the papas. They're kind of southern style. We're gonna add a little bit of cotija cheese and whatever kind of salsa you guys want, you can add to it. I might add some tapatio to mine. Oh, that looks so good. Look at those beans, guys. Look how good they look. If you could only smell them. This is something y'all gotta make for dinner or breakfast this week, guys. I know a lot of you guys, unfortunately, you're out of work, which is unfortunate with everything that's going on. But God is good, and God always looks out for us. So, all right. I can already hear my mom yelling at me right now because she's always hovering over me when I'm cooking, and she's every time I cook eggs, she's always like, "Don't make it mushy. Don't. You're stirring it too much. Stop." I'm like, "Mom, shh, 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 stop it, stop it." So I can already hear her right now, just like that little like. That's not good. All right. She likes it a particular way, and since it's her birthday meal. Let me see. Just fold the eggs. Oh, Jesus. Mom, I'm cooking. Déjame. All right. I'm folding. All right. Okay, just let them sit. All right, I'm gonna put some of this up just so it's not a crazy cleanup when I'm done. And guys, that was a simple Tex-Mex meal. It's super cost efficient and really good. So this is cooking up a little slow, so let's turn it up a little bit. Como dice Rosalinda, fold the egg. Fold the egg. Okay, folding. There we go. That looks so good. Grab the plate. So I am almost ready to eat, guys. I haven't eaten all day because I've been waiting for this, and I'm so excited. Let's see if we got a white one. There we go. Aha. Found it. There you go. I will be posting a picture and the recipe on my mom's page, home cooking recipe. If you can't find it, just DM me. I'll send it over. And don't forget, guys, I am selling 3 to 4 meals. It's going to come with 12 free candies that my mom makes. So DM me for the price. It's going to be like 15 to 20 bucks, depending on shipping and where you're at. But if you want to make some Mexican rice, I'll customize some Mexican rice packages, some charo beans, some enchilada sauces, anything you guys want. Thai food, Mediterranean food. We'll get a customized 3 to 4 meal kit for you, where all you do is kind of add the seasoning and you're good to go, guys. So DM me for that. I'm doing about 10 this week. And it comes with free candy. Come on, guys. All right, so now that that's almost cooked, I can already hear, let it sit, Iris, let it sit. What is she saying? Hi, Ruben. Take the heat. Okay, Mom, okay. I'm taking it off. I took the heat off. There we go. Look at that, guys. That's that Tex-Mex breakfast goodness. And if you want to add it into a burrito, you can do that because you got the chorizo and beans and papas. Make some tacos. Ooh-wee. check on the beans. That looks about ready. And the potatoes. So let's serve this up. There we go. It's all about presentation too, guys. You gotta make it look pretty. All right. That burns a little bit. Let's get my hand off. Look at that, guys. That's that chorizo con refried beans. Ooh wee! Add that onto the plate. There we go. And can't forget our southern style potatoes. You guys could only smell this. I'm gonna add a little bit of cotija cheese. You can add whatever kind of cheese you want. But moving here to Los Angeles, California, I've been really hooked on this cheese. I had never heard of it before I moved here. I don't know how to open it either. There we go. I'm just gonna add a little bit on the beans. Hold, please. Hold, please. I got it. All right. So, add some to the chorizo and the refried beans. Just a little decoration, a little bit of taste. And if you do have guests over, kind of garnish it a little bit. Could be a little fancy schmancy, right? Add that on there. Maybe add a jalapeno dice onto the papas. And there we go, guys. You got my mom Rosalinda's favorite meal or breakfast meal. Again, she's a very healthy person, but she does like to splurge when I'm in town and hints at me to make this, so I always make it for her. We got chorizo con refried beans, some southern fried potatoes, and a Tex Mex version of migas, which is crispy tortillas with, well, there go all my spoons. Maybe that was my grandma saying hi. I don't know. And then we have the migas, which is crispy tortillas with egg, jalapeno, cilantro, tomato, and onion, guys. I'm gonna enjoy this. Hopefully you guys can enjoy it too. Don't forget to DM me for your personalized packages and your free candies that comes along with that package. And have a great day. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you, and I love you guys for tuning in. Thank you, and I'll see you next Sunday. Ah.